Right now at 6, how supporters are trying to get a wildland firefighter out of prison after an assault he says was self-defense.
I do not deserve to be here for defending myself.
Plus, the local honors on this Memorial Day for those who gave everything.
Their courage, their selflessness, their devotion to duty.
Then, facing a boycott, how a decades-long tradition in one coastal town still sailed on.
Grateful that we come together as a community and can keep this 80-year-old tradition going.
And later in sports, meet the dynamic sibling duo dominating Oregon high school tennis.
We practiced together since we were little, so I mean, it's what we've grown up doing.
A very good evening at the tail end of what we hope has been a great holiday weekend. David Molko here along with Christine Pinawanich on what's been a mostly dry Memorial Day. Not a bad day for a barbecue or two, spending some time at the lake, the gorge, the coast, or making your way home.
Yeah, and on this unofficial start to summer, it's about to start feeling like it a little bit more. Chief Meteorologist Matt Zaffino has your first look at the week ahead from the KGW Weather Deck. Hey, Matt.
Hey, Christine. You know, a lot of people would hope that summer would feel just like this all season long, right? But we are going to warm up as we go through the week. Let's take you back outside. Well, of course, I am outside on the Rick's Custom Fencing Weather Deck up here on the roof of KGW. Let's check out what's happening out of the Oregon coast. There's the Chinook Winds Casino Skycam at Lincoln City. Sun reflecting on water, a beautiful scene. Temperature is 57 degrees out there right now. So it's a little on the cool side at the beach, but even the beach is going to warm into the 70s tomorrow. So we have a pretty good warm up on the way. Now, did you know we started out with some rain this morning? No measurable rain at the airport or downtown or anywhere except for Troutdale in the immediate metro area, but we go a little farther afield and you can see we had 0.3 of an inch of rain up at Astoria, a little bit down at Newport, and a little bit of rain up in western Washington as well. But that all moved out pretty quickly this morning and left us with this beautiful day that we are enjoying, and it is going to be a very interesting week. It's going to warm up, but it won't get hot. Warm but not hot. Warmest days look like Wednesday and Friday, with a little shower sandwich in the middle of that on Thursday. So again, we'll be going up, we'll be going down. We won't get a lot of rain, but we will cool off a bit as we go into the latter part of the week. But tomorrow is an absolute beauty. To begin the work week with sunshine and temperatures in the 80s, that's just good living. Sunset tomorrow at 8:48. So yeah, we've got some stellar weather on the way this week with a little bit of a cool down coming on Thursday. Guys?
All sounds great. Thank you so much, Matt.
You bet.
Now at 6, supporters of an Oregon firefighter are asking the governor to release him from prison.
Brian Hakeem Simpson was convicted of assault, though his lawyers say it was self-defense after a coworker called him a racial slur, they say, and threw the first punch. Investigative reporter Kyle Leboshi's here with the details. Kyle.
Community members, fellow firefighters, and Simpson's own family have written letters and submitted a petition with more than 3,000 signatures asking Oregon's governor to take a closer look at this case. Once an Oregon wildland firefighter who served his community, now an inmate serving time. Brian Hakeem Simpson was sentenced to prison for assault, a crime he claims he didn't commit. Simpson spoke with us by phone from the Snake River Correctional Institution.
I do not deserve to be here for defending myself.
The 42-year-old is appealing his conviction, and supporters are asking Oregon's governor to grant him clemency, claiming the alleged assault was an act of self-defense in a racially motivated attack by a fellow firefighter.
This is a constitutional issue of you have the right to defend yourself if you are being attacked, and that's what I did.
The incident occurred in June of 2024 in southern Oregon. A grayback firefighting crew had an off day and was staying in firefighting housing, Paradise Ranch in Merlin. According to trial transcripts, around midnight, another firefighter, Brandon Olson, woke up and confronted coworkers, including Simpson, and told them to shut the F up. When Simpson responded, he claimed Olson, who is white, told him, "Pull your effing pants up, N-word." Trial transcripts show Olson threw the first punch. There's no doubt who initiated the confrontation, said Hakeem Simpson's defense attorney.
He admitted at trial that he threw the first punch at Hakeem. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Simpson admits he punched back. The two tussled. When Olson got up and came back, Simpson said he hit him a few more times and kicked him, according to trial transcripts.
My opinion is I don't think it was a crime because I believe he was acting in self-defense.
In August of 2024, an all-white jury in Josephine County found Simpson guilty of assault in the second degree. A judge sentenced him to 70 months in prison, noting the severity of the victim's injuries and Simpson's 2 prior felony assault convictions. In an email to KGW, the Josephine County District Attorney wrote, "Our position both before and at trial is that the first hit was likely justified, or at least could be. But the repeated kicks, stomps to the face, head area were not. The victim had several facial fractures and needed surgery."
If you throw the first punch, then you are the aggressor.
Glendora Claybrooks of the National Action Network argues this case deserves greater scrutiny. Supporters claim Hakeem Simpson is being criminalized for being the victim of a hate-fueled attack. At trial, Olson denied using the N-word, but another witness said he did.
Where I'm from, we call a spade a spade. The N-word is the and when you start throwing that term around, the only intent, unless you're singing one of these hip-hop songs, is meant to demean, disrespect, humiliate, and it's a racial slur.
Simpson hopes Oregon's governor will step in because an appeal could take years. More than 3,000 people have signed a petition asking Governor Kotek to review the case.
Once this is done, I want to get back out there and continue to fight fire and do the best I can to be the best firefighter I can and the best person I can, for the community.
The alleged victim, Brandon Olson, is suing Grayback Firefighting for $1.8 million, claiming they never should have hired Simpson. In October, Olson was charged with stalking in an unrelated case. Olson could not be reached for comment.
Yeah, we'll see if the governor steps in on this one. Kyle Aboshi reporting. Thank you, Kyle.
In your headlines, a 15-year-old boy from Northeast Washington is presumed to have drowned after he went missing off of Long Beach. Our Spokane affiliate reporting the teenager, whose name has not yet been released, was from the town of Northport near the Canadian border. He was in the area for a baseball tournament when he and 2 adults went swimming around sunset on Friday and ran into trouble in the cold water. A rescue swimmer reached the adults by jet ski and got them to shore, but the teenager could not be found. The Coast Guard brought in boats and a helicopter, but ultimately called off that search early Saturday. When one of the adults, by the way, who tried to save that boy, remains hospitalized in critical condition.
In Central Oregon, crews are responding to what could be the first significant wildfire of the season. The Butte fire sparked yesterday afternoon about 50 miles southeast of the Dalles. It's burning along the John Day River near the junction of Wheeler, Gillum, and Wasco counties. It grew from 300 to 2,000 acres overnight due to gusty winds. Today, helicopters pulled water from the river and dumped it on the fire. This is a remote area, but officials say there are some structures that are threatened. So far, it is 0% contained.
A warning for dog owners who frequent the Columbia after 2 dog deaths were linked to a form of toxic algae. Now, both dogs fell ill after coming into contact with benthic algae, one near Camas, the other near St. Helens. So unlike algae scums you might see on the surface, health officials say this kind of algae grows on riverbeds and lake bottoms. It can break loose and wash ashore as slimy mats that range from green to yellow to red. And health officials add monitoring algae in a river the size of the Columbia can be difficult.
Because we can't see the majority of the river. So like these, some of the protocols and examples that I've seen where people do routine benthic algae monitoring, they're doing it in streams that are only 20, 30 feet wide and maybe a couple feet deep. So they are able to scan the entire area to find like a % cover of the benthic algae mats. That's obviously not feasible with the Columbia River.
Coming up tonight on KGW News at 11, hear from a woman who lost her dog, along with more on how to avoid this type of algae.
And a reminder, if you're planning to take public transit to get where you're going this evening on this holiday, all buses and MAX trains are running on Sunday schedules. There's also no West service, and the Portland streetcar is running on its Saturday schedule.
We honor their courage with our presence here today.
Crowds gathered to lift up military veterans and pay tribute to those who paid the ultimate sacrifice. Under an enormous American flag, speakers talked about the importance of this day, not as a day of celebration, but of honor and respect.
Fire 1 round for the Air Force.
All the ceremonial things you'd expect were on display at a place with a powerful military past, including F-15s flying over the Fort Vancouver National Historic Site. On the ground, Gold Star mom Rosemary Ann Elder decked out her walker for her son and others.
I really like to honor all of the military that we've lost, and I feel that's my way of showing how much I honor them.
We owe them our courage to uphold and defend our Constitution.
The keynote speaker, Patrick Locke, drafted into the Vietnam War, leading troops in combat, earning 3 Purple Hearts, but surviving to remember those who did not.
Today we honor each of them as we speak their names and carry their memory forward. Their courage, their selflessness, their devotion to duty, these were real people.
They were certainly real to Donald Cabe, a Marine who lost comrades in Korea so long ago.
It's hard. It's really hard. Memories. I tried not to, but they come back. But I do it again.
You do it again. Yeah.
Release the dogs.
And that's why people will keep returning here to thank veterans, living and past, for their service.
And after that moving ceremony up there in Vancouver, they lightened it up a bit with a picnic, free hot dogs and chips, etc. A big hit for families and especially the kids.
Okay, thank you so much, Jim, honoring our veterans.
Those are F-15s from Portland's Air National Guard Base flying over the Willamette National Cemetery today as hundreds gathered there to remember our fallen heroes.
It's an honor, and it's the least that you can do for your military is to show your support.
I just remember his dedication to always doing the next level of advancing, studying, serving.
Yeah, the least we can do. Pilots also flew over a dozen other events across our region. By the way, the Portland Air National Guard employs some 1,400 airmen helping guard the Pacific Northwest skies from Northern California to the Canadian border.